Hello and welcome to Proving the Concept, the podcast where we delve into the weird, the wonderful and at times downright bizarre world of science and technology. I'm your host, Sarah Goffin, and today we're exploring the fascinating relationship between nature and modern medicine in an episode I'm calling Nature's Medicine. Throughout history, humans have turned to the natural world for remedies, treatments and cures. What's truly incredible is how many of today's life-saving medicines have their roots, sometimes literally, in nature. From willow bark's transformation into aspirin to the Nobel Prize-winning discovery of artemisinin for malaria, nature has always played a role in medicine. Today, I'll be covering the history of natural medicine and how ancient civilizations treated illnesses, the strange and wonderful ways modern medicine still relies on nature, the ethical questions surrounding bioprospecting and indigenous knowledge, finally, the inspiring story of an incredible female scientist who helped change the course of malaria treatment. So whether you're listening on your commute, cooking dinner, or just love learning about the hidden wonders of science, let's get started. Understand how nature has influenced modern medicine, we have to go back, way back. Some of the earliest recorded medical treatments date back to 3000 BCE, where the Sumerians documented over 250 medicinal plants on clay tablets. The Egyptians, meanwhile, created extensive medical texts like the Ebers Papyrus, which used treatments using garlic, honey, aloe and myrrh. They believed honey had antimicrobial properties, which, fun fact, modern medicine has confirmed. The Greeks and Romans took this even further. Hippocrates, often called the father of modern medicine, believed in treating ailments with natural remedies rather than superstitions. He prescribed willow bark for pain and fever. Centuries before scientists would isolate salicin, the key ingredient that led to aspirin. Meanwhile, the Roman physicist Dioscorides wrote De Materia Medica, a massive encyclopedia of over 600 medicinal plants. This work became the go-to medical reference for over 1,500 years. At the same time, Ayurveda was emerging in India as one of the oldest medical systems, using plants like turmeric for inflammation and neem for skin diseases. In China, traditional medicine combined herbal treatments, acupuncture, and dietary therapies. Chinese texts dating back over 2,000 years describe the use of sweet wormwood, Artemisia annua, to treat fever, an observation that would later lead to one of the most important discoveries in relation to malaria. Fast forward to the Renaissance, and European scientists began systematically studying medicinal plants. The invention of the printing press allowed for mass distribution of herbals, booking details of medicinal uses of plants. One of the most famous was written by Nicholas Culpeper, who believed medicine should be accessible to everyone, not just the wealthy elite. His work helped lay the foundation for modern pharmacology. Now, let's fast forward to some of the most extraordinary modern discoveries that came straight from nature. Perhaps the most famous accidental discovery in medicine is penicillin. In 1928, Alexander Fleming left a petri dish out in his lab, only to return to find it contaminated with mold. That mold turned out to be Penicillium notatum, which was killing the surrounding bacteria. This accidental discovery led to the first antibiotic revolution, saving millions of lives. Venoms and toxins turned into medicine. Cone snails, found in tropical oceans, produce a venom with a compound called ziconotide, which is 1,000 times more potent than morphine without being addictive, and this is currently being studied for the next generation of painkillers. Pit viper venom led to captopril, a drug that treats high blood pressure. Botulinum toxin, derived from Clostridium botulinum, is the deadliest toxin known to humans, but in small doses, it became Botox, used for both cosmetic procedures and conditions like migraines and muscle spasms. The ocean is a largely untapped resource for medicine. Scientists are studying compounds from coral for anti-inflammatory properties, sponges for potential cancer treatments, horseshoe crabs whose blue blood contains the unique compound used to test vaccines for bacterial contamination, and so much more. Biopiracy. Biopiracy is when companies take traditional knowledge from indigenous groups without sharing the benefits. Examples include the use of turmeric for inflammation in India, patented by Western companies despite being used for centuries. The Hoodia cactus, used by the San people of Africa as an appetite suppressant, was commercialized without their consent. Thankfully, the Nagoya Protocol is helping to ensure fair benefit sharing. Some species, like the Pacific yew tree, were nearly wiped out due to the demand for chemotherapy drugs. This is why synthetic biology is crucial. It allows us to recreate natural compounds without harming the environment. Finally, let's talk about Tu Youyou, the woman who helped fight malaria. In the 1960s, malaria was killing millions. Tu turned to ancient Chinese medicinal texts and found that sweet wormwood had been used for fever treatment. She extracted artemisinin, the compound that became the world's most effective anti-malarial drug at its time. Her work won her a Nobel Prize in Medicine in 2015, the first ever to be awarded to a Chinese woman. And that's all for today's episode of Proving the Concept. Thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow science enthusiasts. If you have a topic you'd like me to cover, please do shout out. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious and keep proving the concept.